Yeah.
So what's the game you want to mention first?
I want to hear you, man, first.
Do you want to go?
Yeah. For
Yeah.
me, I mean, this one's an interesting one. I had two, but I think I'll talk about this one because you guys could talk about this more as well. Smash, actually.
Okay.
Now,
Super Smash.
the reason this is interesting because it doesn't fall into that typical. They've done something and it's like ruined it, or maybe they've done something made it better. Is that particular games were better or worse to certain people depending on how you saw it. For the competitive scene, the second one, Super Smash Bros. Melee, was better than anything after that. But then for, I guess, casuals, or maybe for us, we enjoy Smash 5, Smash Ultimate the most.
Ultimate
Over all of the rest.
Yeah.
And then there's some people still play 64, some people still play Brawl for some reason.
For some reason. I was just about to throw that out there.
Oh, God damn.
So it's like, because each game is still fundamentally, it's the same game.
Yeah,
but it's fundamentally different in how the game plays because fighting games are very specific.
Yeah.
That is
Because
true.
they always are going to follow a certain specific way the game's going to feel, I guess, for better words. You know what I mean?
But the very small particulars can change how people feel about it overall, how they even play the game.
I guess in the sense for fighting games, definitely, because of the fact that, like, as you said, it's always going to have that similar blueprint for all of their iterations of the game.
But one change can literally break
make it feel, yeah.
And one of the things they did in Brawl to really break, because Sakurai was very clear, he didn't want a competitive scene. He didn't want it.
Oh, he didn't?
No,
It
that's
was by accident.
What, from the start?
Okay, no, yes. Melee was an accident. That was a mistake.
Oh, there you go.
That was a mistake. And then the Brawl, he specifically didn't want that to happen. That's why he added in
slipping and all of that shit.
He wanted people to trip because people were like going everywhere doing all this stuff. He didn't like that. He wanted a slower game, which is why Brawl is the way
Brawl
it is.
is quite slow when I think about the other.
Much slower.
I mean, compared to all of the games, it's a lot slower now.
Yeah, but I think Ultimate is quite fast.
I think I thought like Smash Bros. Wii U, like the Smash 4, I thought that was quite slow.
Yeah, that is slow.
Yeah,
but Smash 5.
Oh yeah,
Ultimate,
Smash 5 is really fast.
It's much faster.
Yeah. Compared to 4 and Brawl, it's definitely a lot faster. And Melee being probably the fastest.
Yeah. So this is an interesting thing, similar to Monster Hunter, but in a different way, where depending on the game, it kind of like garnered its own fans. Like people stuck there. Yeah. But in Monster Hunter, like people are sticking either old gen, maybe newer gen, but not newest gen. Now the newest gen. While in Smash, it's more like Melee or Smash 5. Basically, or Melee or whatever's new.
Yeah,
like that's the two. There's no in between.
Yeah.
So it's quite interesting.
To be fair, you saying that, it literally makes it sound like Melee is the variation, because deviant. Sorry, because if it's the latest one, obviously after Melee you got Brawl in it.
Yeah, Brawl.
That's all you know.
Yeah.
Right. So you're comparing it to the previous game. Next game that'll come would be Smash 4.
So you're going with this,
So in that sense, Sakurai, as you mentioned, Sakurai has already taken out that competitiveness from the game. So if you want competitiveness, you got to stay with this game. Anything afterwards ain't going to be competitive. So in that sense, it does kind of sound like what you're saying. Is as time goes on, Smash keeps improving, huh?
To some people, it will. Yeah, it is improving. Yeah, 100%. To some people, it's definitely improving.
Minus the competitiveness, of course.
Yeah. I think it's mainly the competitiveness.
Sense.
Like apart from competitiveness, I don't think any of those people would say the new games are becoming worse.
Yeah.
They're not as competitive
as that particular one, innit?
If competitiveness is what you care about in a fighting game, then objectively it is worse.
In that sense, yeah. But if we kind of think about it going back to Monster Hunter, the core of the game, like Smash, keeping to its core. Obviously, the only thing that we're tweaking is the competitiveness. But the creator is telling you, like, I don't want this in this game. I don't see this in my vision. Right? He's took it out already. Like, as time goes on, this game is actually improving. No? Yeah? Maybe?
I see what you mean.
Yeah.
That's why this is an interesting one and a tricky one. Yeah.
No, it's true. It's true. Because if I'm just here for the competitiveness, like, I wouldn't even be on Smash 5. I'll be there merely doing the maddest things that everyone else is doing, innit?
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
But if I'm just graphics, newest, latest, what's out right now, I'm on that Smash Ultimate.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Or Smash 6 when it comes. It should be sick. But no, you're right. I guess in that sense, yes, Melee is the deviant. And it's not as intended But I mean, regardless, even if that's the facts, guys, people like it, so they can play it.
No, true.
It's just that Smash is going in a different direction. If you don't like the direction, hopefully one of the other games has you.
Yeah.
It sits with you. Yeah.
That even crossed my mind, bro.
I'll be real with you. I was not expecting you to say Smash. If I'm completely honest.
Same. But no, that's a good one. Yeah. I like that.